Welcome to our presentation about DataMind. We are Revolution Data Platforms and we're proud to present to you DataMind, our solution for an open source and customized LLM. So before we jump into DataMind, the first thing we need to discuss is why do you need LLMs? Well, LLMs stand for large language models. These are machine learning models and based on neural networks that are solving one of the challenges of the NLP or natural language processing. Example of these are the GPT family of product from OpenAI and the most famous of all, of course, ChatGPT. These models are excellent in understanding the natural language and has many applications like intelligent chat box, summarizing, analyzing text, and more. DataMind is a solution that uses this open source model to give our customers more control to host their model in their own environment, whether on-prem or in the cloud. So before we discuss what is DataMind, first, why DataMind? Microsoft OpenAI is an example of an excellent solution that provides a superior LLMs and an easy to consume APIs and at a very low starting cost. Fantastic. However, for many organizations, especially in the government and highly regulated sectors, using APIs is not a desired solution for security and regulatory reasons. That's when DataMind comes in to fill this gap in the market. DataMind is a set of open source LLMs that we optimize for the customer's most common LLM needs. DataMind guarantees that no data is sent outside the customer environment. The models are hosted and operated inside the customer's environment. DataMind deployment takes multiple steps from identifying the need for the LLM, followed by DataMind deployment and integration within the customer's environment. And then after that, we do optimization and a final delivery.
Thank you for listening today all about DataMind. I'm going to throw it over to my colleague Mohammed, and he's going to give you a demo. Thanks.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, everyone. For the demos, we have 3 demos today for DataMind. The first one will be about RAG or Retrieval Augmented Generation. And in this case, we are using actually a real life scenario where we faced with one of our customers. And in this case, the customer has clinical laboratory manuals, and they have tens of thousands of these documents, PDF documents, and they need to have a helper bot that can the laboratory technician can consult these manuals and can ask questions, and the model will answer it. So I'm going to start with this demo. This demo, when we demo it to the customer, we made sure that this is completely offline demo. We are using our own hardware that's a modest hardware compared to the final implementation at the customer side. But this is what we started with. We have the data. So we are showing the data here. This is a PDF file that has a lab manual, and we started with one document at the beginning. Everything we are using here is completely offline. And the first question is a question that does not exist in the manual, and we are making sure that our model is fully grounded. We don't have, it doesn't make any hallucination, and we are giving them as well the option to give feedback. This feedback will be taken into a queue and then processed after. Some of the processing is automated, some processing are manual. And in the second question, we see here, we are having a question and about the what will appear if the determine method, in the case of the determine method, if the patient is HIV positive, and we are getting the answer here. And after that, we have another question. Was the specimen used for this method, and it will give us a precise answer. For this model, the requirements was not to make the model chatty, because the lab technician is working inside the lab. They don't need to have lots of text to read or even narrated in voice for them as the second phase of the project. They wanted to have the most concise answer possible. And as you can see, the answers are very short in this case. So that was the first one. The second use case that we use DataMind for is de-identification. We saw customers who are in need for using GPT models, but for some reasons, for regulatory reasons mainly, they cannot send their data as is to the GPT models using Azure OpenAI. That was the target for the time. So they needed to have de-identification. And what we did here is we used the de-identification capability. And we created multiple models for the de-identification, where we have a model for a specific domain. In this case, it's a medical domain. Then we need to have a text to do the identification. We actually generated a text from ChatGPT to do a baseline comparison between our model and the ChatGPT. That was what is generated. And then the de-identified text. It still has some text, so it has some dates and hospital name. I wouldn't say that this is the case right now. So because GPT changed a lot since then. So I believe by 4.0 that will be a better result. But at the time, we wanted to have, at the point of time, a comparison between our model and what the customer might get from the open data sets, from the open models. So in this one, we took this data and we copied to our UI for the model. Put it here, de-identify. And we can see here we are doing the identification, and we are marking that this is a patient. We are marking the dates. We are marking the hospital. Everything we are marking. And that's because it's not a person, it's a patient, because this is a medical customized model for the medical result sets. Right. So the third one, I'm going to go fast with the third one, is the summarization. That's another use case that was early on requested a lot from our customers. And we wanted to implement data model as well for this one. So here we are going to summarization. We can summarize from PDF, from a website, or raw text. We choose website in this case, and we will do a quick search here about ChatGPT, and we'll get it from CNN. So we'll take this URL and we will ask the model to summarize it. And here you go. With this demo, getting back to Kaylee, thank you. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation on DataMind. We are proud Microsoft partners, and we're looking forward to continuing in 2024.